all, and welcome back to another wonderful video. Today, I'm back with another Ponytown update video. This update here is version 0.73.0. They added some new wall types, which is very exciting. I'm going to teach you guys how to, mess around with that and stuff like that. In addition to that, they've also improved a couple things and added some, other actions and stuff like that to deal with the walls and stuff like that they've added. And they have some things here that I want to talk about. So let's talk about all of it here today and start with the customization changes that have happened, since the customizations are normally the first thing you're going to see when you boot up the game. So if you go to edit your pony, your character or whatever, and switch over to the face tab, you will see that there is the eyelashes. Now the eyelashes, with this new update, you can now click this right here and change the eyelash from each side. So right now, Skella doesn't have any eyelashes on either side of her face, but if I want to give her some eyelashes on her right side, I can do that. It's kind of hard to see, but I can flip the character here, and you can see that she has eyelashes on this side, but she doesn't on this side. And I can change that again by just going down to the left eyelashes and switching that out, and now she has 2 eyelashes here and 1 eyelash there. This is a very small thing, but if you wanted to play around and create like a very weird character, some kind of strange monster, or some kind of I don't know what you would want to make with this, but if you wanted to make some kind of character here and you needed specific types of eyes or something like that, this gives you more of a chance to make that thing with those weird eyes, because this is essentially right where the eyes are. So being able to change these colors to whatever you want is going to be very good, especially since you can change them on both sides. It's going to open up a lot of possibilities for a lot more characters. Anyway, that's pretty much it for the customization. They focused heavily on the house and one tiny little improvement. So I want to start with that tiny little improvement, so I'm going to jump into the game here and kind of show you that tiny little bit of an improvement, because it's something that I've talked about before, and it's a layering issue. It's a layering issue. If I switch over to you can still do this with the cat, by the way. They didn't fix it with the cat, but you used to be able to have this layering issue where you would be able to go right behind the lanterns, and you'd sort of be between the lanterns and the wall, sort of how I am with the cat right now. But they fixed it with this recent update where it now has collisions, so you can't walk through it, or I mean fly through it or anything like that. So it has collision now, so you can't go through those lanterns, and that actually makes a little bit of sense. Yeah, it makes a little bit of sense, and it's a good fix. But the thing is, they haven't fully fixed the layering issue. So if you still want to experience the layering issue, you can actually do sort of like this, where you have your tail there. It's a little bit easier if you have a bigger tail. There we go. So now that I'm this character, you can definitely see it a lot better. This tail is kind of going through it, and they haven't fully fixed it. They've just made it to where it has collisions, so it's not going to be your whole body, phasing through it in a weird way. Same thing. They haven't done anything with the cat yet whatsoever, so it makes sense that they haven't put collision there, because it's probably very difficult to do that since the cat isn't always up there. So maybe at one point in time we'll probably get collision somehow with this, or maybe at some point in time they'll be able to fix this layering issue and we'll be able to fly through that again, because I would definitely love to be able to fly over that, because we should be able to fly over that. I mean, we can fly over a giant cliff and we can't fly over that, so it makes sense that eventually they will fix this, or hopefully they'll fix this. Who knows though. But anyway, you're all here for the house. You're all here for the Ponytown house. The house changes. So let me go into that and tell you about that. So moving on to the actual party house here, there are some new changes. We have some new wall types. We have, of course, stone wall. We have plain walls, and then of course we have our trusty old default wooden walls. In addition, we also have these new fences now. You can fly over it. So if I just enter fly mode here real quick, you can see that I can easily fly over this and everything like that. So you can fly over these just like you could in the regular outside world and everything like that. And you can't do that obviously with these walls, but you can fly between them and walk between them and walk around them, because they're walls. They're a very normal thing. They're a very, very, very normal thing, because they're walls. These walls all look very interesting and everything like that, but how do you get these walls? How do you switch between these walls? How is that possible? Well, you're going to equip the saw tool. Now, if you're on PC, you can press the T key and it will immediately equip it, or you can just go down here to your actions and hit next tool and go between them and find your saw tool. As you can see, it gives you some tool tips to kind of help you along. If you scroll the mouse wheel, you can see the different kinds of walls and stuff like that. So you can see how I can switch between the wood wall, the plain wall, and then of course the stone wall. I really like the stone wall myself. I think that's probably the best one here, but I also really love the plain wall. And of course these fences are really nice. They're gonna open up a lot of possibilities for different kinds of homes and stuff like that. I can't wait to see what people do with these fence posts specifically. I already know what people are gonna do with the stone walls. They're obviously gonna make dungeons and basements and weird things like that. That's a very obvious thing to me. Something I will say about the fence post is it doesn't look kind of faded how the other ones do. So if it's kind of partially transparent with all these previews, but when you get to the fence, it's like almost not. Yeah, it doesn't look transparent at all for some reason. I don't know if that's some kind of oversight or what that was, but it seems like they meant to do it, but they didn't do it enough. I think they should adjust the opacity on this preview just a tiny bit. That's just my own personal opinion, though. I don't know if that's really that important. I don't know if I mean, I'm not wearing glasses, so that could be it. All this is fine and dandy, and I would just leave it here. But there is one more thing I want to mention, and that is the new changes to the walls. So if you want tall walls, like some people would, you can now press a single key and have tall walls. So you can have these tall walls now, and you can actually see through them as you go through them. So you can no longer hide these lanterns and stuff like that behind walls now, because unless you have them off. If you have them off, you're obviously going to be able to hide them, but if you have them on, you're not going to be able to hide them anymore. But this is a very interesting thing because you can make a very interesting maze now with this, where players quite can't see what they're going to do. Like, this path looks a little bit closed off, but it's actually not, so I can walk through there and find my way to the fruit box here and get myself a banana if I want it. That's a new change that is going to help so much with different homes and stuff like that. It kind of reminds me of The Sims in a way, where you can switch between different wall types, where it's like, oh, you can see through all the walls, or you have the walls up like this and stuff like that. And in case you're curious, you can do this simply with the press of a button. If you're on PC, you can press F8 on your keyboard and it will toggle that. You can toggle that as much as you want. You can toggle that as much as you want. It's pretty nice. It's pretty neat. If you are on mobile, or if you do not want to press the F8 key, or if you can't press the F8 key, or something's going on and you don't have that option, you can always open up your settings, go to your actions, go to your building, and it's right there. You can drag and drop this change wall mode over into your actions bar, and with the single press of a button, you can quickly change between them in just the same amount of time. Just so quick, so quick. This, however, is something people have been complaining about, where there is, of course, always the walk out of bounds glitch, whatever it is. I don't know what you call it. Kind of squeeze myself through here, and now I'm outside in the void, but you can see me through the wall. That is something people have been complaining about, that you can now see yourself through the wall and stuff like that. People didn't want that, but at the same time, I think it's totally fine. But now we can kind of get a better idea what's necessarily out here in the void. There seems to be some kind of dirt here that just goes off into water. So that's kind of what we already knew, but we didn't exactly see what it was. I actually thought this dirt right here was actually just more wood, but I guess not. So that's an interesting thing that we discovered today. This actually, I'm stuck. Hang on. This actually extends to the outside of the house. So if you have this house here, of course, all of these homes are the same. I think it would be kind of neat if they, eventually, when we have full island customization, have some kind of customization for the actual way the house itself looks. I think that would be awesome. But that's a topic for a wish list video. Today, I'm talking about how this actually extends to the back of this house. So if you go behind this house, you can actually see yourself through there, and other players will be able to see you through there as well. So there's no more hiding behind the house, which is, I personally like that. Before, it used to be a matter of you would have to move your mouse around this or if you were on mobile, you would just tap that area behind there and wait to see if a name appeared, and if a name appeared, then you knew someone was behind you. You wouldn't be able to see them, but you would know they're there because you tapped on them or hovered over them with the mouse, so it obviously showed the name preview and stuff. So that's kind of it for the updates and everything like that. The back of this house is kind of interesting in its own way, but that's gonna do it for the video and everything. That's gonna do it for the update. I hope you enjoyed, and if you did, be sure to subscribe and everything like that, because I do update videos like this every single time there's an update, and I do all kinds of other Ponytown videos and content and stuff like that as well. And I do hope you enjoyed otherwise, and if you did, please do like, subscribe, and share, and do all of those wonderful things, because when you do those wonderful things, you get access to wonderful content such as this. But that's not all you get. That's not all you get. You also get to become wonderful yourself, and I think we all want that. So do those wonderful things, and until next time, stay wonderful.